Sada Prarudita's self-sacrifice. The Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita then had a supreme, a most sublime feel of zest and joy. It is a gain to me, a very great gain, that by asking for the perfection of wisdom and for this disquisition I have wrought the weal of so many beings. That alone should bring me merit sufficient for the accomplishment of full enlightenment. Unquestionably I shall become a Tathagata. In his zest and joy he rose 7 palm trees high into the air, and, standing at the height of 7 palm trees, he reflected, "How can I, standing here in the air, do honor to the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata?" Sakra, chief of gods, saw him, read his thoughts, presented him with heavenly Mandarava flowers, and said to him, "Honor the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata with these heavenly flowers, for we feel that we should honor the man who helped you. Today your might has wrought the weal of many thousands of living beings. Rare are the beings who, like you, have the strength for the sake of all beings through countless eons to bear the great burden." The Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita then took the Mandarava flowers from Sakra, chief of gods, and scattered them over the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata. He presented the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata with his own body, and said to him, "I give you myself as a present, and I shall be your attendant and servant from today onwards." And with folded hands he stood before Dharmodgata. The merchant's daughter and her 500 maidens then said to the Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita, "We in our turn make a present of ourselves to you, son of good family. Through this wholesome root we also shall become recipients of just those dharmas, and together with you we shall again and again honor and revere the Buddhas and Lords and the Bodhisattvas, and we shall remain near to you." Sada Prarudita replied, "If you maidens, in imitation of my own earnest intention, give yourselves with earnest intentions to me, then I will accept you." The maidens replied, "We imitate you, and with earnest resolution we give ourselves as presents to you." Thereupon the Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita presented the merchant's daughter and her 500 maidens, embellished and adorned, together with their 500 well-decorated carriages, to the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata, and said, "All these I present to you as attendants and servants, and also the carriages for your own use." Sakra, chief of gods, applauded him and said, "Well done, son of good family. A bodhisattva must renounce all his property. Through that thought of renunciation, he soon wins full enlightenment, and the worship he pays thus to the preachers of Dharma enables him to hear about the perfection of wisdom and skill in means. Also, in the past, Tathagatas, when they were still bodhisattvas, have, by the fact that they renounced everything, procured a claim to full enlightenment. And they also have asked questions about perfect wisdom and about skill in means." The Bodhisattva Dharmodgata accepted Sada Prarudita's gift so that his wholesome root might reach fulfillment. Immediately afterwards, he returned it to Sada Prarudita. After that, the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata went into his house. The sun was about to set. The Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita then thought to himself, "It would not indeed be seemly for me, who has come here out of love for Dharma, to sit or to lie down. I will remain either standing or walking until the time when the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata shall again come out of his house in order to reveal Dharma to us." The Bodhisattva Dharmodgata then remained for 7 years, immersed in one uninterrupted state of trance, and he dwelt in countless thousands of concentrations peculiar to bodhisattvas, issued from perfection of wisdom and skill in means. For 7 years, Sada Prarudita never adopted any other posture than the 2 just mentioned, and he did not fall into sloth and torpor. For 7 years he never felt any preoccupation with sense desires, or with ill will, or with harming others. He never felt any eagerness for tastes, nor any self-satisfaction. But he thought, when then will the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata emerge from his trance, so that we may spread out a seat for him, whereon he may demonstrate Dharma, and so that we may sprinkle well the place where he will reveal the perfection of wisdom and skill and means, anoint it well and bedeck it with manifold flowers. And the merchant's daughter with her 500 maidens followed his example, passed their time in 2 postures only, and imitated all his works. One day the Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita heard a heavenly voice which said, "On the 7th day from today, the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata will emerge from his trance, and he will then, seated in the center of the town, demonstrate Dharma." When Sada Prarudita heard the heavenly voice, he was contented, elated, joyous, overjoyed, and jubilant. Together with the merchant's daughter and her 500 maidens, he cleansed the ground, spread out the seat made of the 7 precious things, took off his upper garment, and spread it on top of the seat. The maidens also took off their upper garments, spread their 500 upper garments on the seat, and thought, "Seated on that seat will the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata demonstrate Dharma." And they also were contented, elated, joyous, overjoyed, and jubilant. When the Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita wanted to sprinkle the ground, he could not find any water, though he searched all around. For Mara, the evil one, had hidden all the water. And he did this so that Sada Prarudita, if he could not find any water, should become depressed and sad, or change his mind, with the result that his wholesome root would vanish, or the fervor of his worship be dimmed. The Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita then thought to himself, "Let me pierce my own body and sprinkle the ground with my blood. The ground is full of rising dust, and I fear that some of it may fall on the body of the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata. What else can I do with this body, which is of necessity doomed to break up? Better surely that this my body should be destroyed by such an action rather than by an ineffectual one. For the sake of sense pleasures, as a result of sense pleasures, many thousands of frames of mind have again and again, while I wandered in birth and death, been broken up, but never in conditions as favorable as these, never for the sake of gaining the good law. If they must once more be broken up, let them in any case be broken up in a holy cause." He then took a sharp sword, pierced his body on every side, and everywhere sprinkled that piece of ground with his own blood. The merchant's daughter with her 500 maidens followed his example, and did as he did. But there was no alteration of thought in either the Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita or in all those maidens, which would have given Mara, the evil one, a chance of entering in order to obstruct their wholesome roots. Sakra, chief of gods, then thought to himself, "It is wonderful how much this Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita loves Dharma. How firm is his sense of obligation. How great the armor he has put on, and how he disregards his body, his life, and his pleasures, and how resolutely he has set out with the goal of knowing full enlightenment, in his desire to set free all beings from the measureless sufferings of birth and death after he has known full enlightenment." Sakra then changed by magic all that blood into heavenly sandalwood water, and all round that piece of ground for 100 leagues an inconceivably sublime scent, the scent of that heavenly sandalwood water, filled the air. And Sakra said to Sada Prarudita, "Well done, son of good family. I applaud your inconceivable vigor, your supreme love and search for Dharma. The Tathagatas in the past also have procured the right to full enlightenment through this kind of earnest intention, vigor, and love for Dharma." The Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita then thought to himself, I have spread out the seed for the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata, and I have well swept and sprinkled this piece of ground. Now I must still get flowers with which to cover this piece of ground, and to scatter over the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata when he demonstrates Dharma. Sakra then said to Sada Prarudita, "Accept these heavenly Mandarava flowers for that twofold purpose." And he presented him with 1,000 heavenly Kara measures of heavenly flowers, and the Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita accepted those flowers, and used some of them to cover the piece of ground, and later on he strewed others over the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata. Dharmodgata's demonstration of Dharma. After the lapse of 7 years, the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata emerged from his trance, went up to the seat spread out for him, sat down on it, and, surrounded and attended by an assembly of many hundreds of thousands, he demonstrated Dharma. The moment the Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita saw the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata, he was filled with that kind of happiness which a monk feels when, with one pointed attention, he has obtained the first trance. And this is the demonstration of the perfection of wisdom by the Bodhisattva Dharmodgata. Quote, "The perfection of wisdom is self-identical, because all dharmas are the same. Perfect wisdom is isolated, because all dharmas are isolated. Perfect wisdom is immobile, because all dharmas are immobile. Perfect wisdom is devoid of mental acts, because all dharmas are devoid of mental acts. Perfect wisdom is unbenumbed, because all dharmas are unbenumbed. Perfect wisdom has but one single taste, because all dharmas have one and the same taste. Perfect wisdom is boundless, because all dharmas are boundless. Perfect wisdom is non-production, because all dharmas are non-production. Perfect wisdom is non-stopping, because all dharmas are non-stopped. As the firmament is boundless, so is perfect wisdom. As the ocean is boundless, so is perfect wisdom. As Meru shines in multicolored brilliance, so does the perfection of wisdom. As the firmament is not fashioned, so is perfect wisdom not fashioned. Perfect wisdom is boundless, because form and the other skandhas are boundless. Perfect wisdom is boundless, because the element of earth and the other elements are boundless. Perfect wisdom is self-identical, because the adamantine dharma is self-identical. Perfect wisdom is undifferentiated, because all dharmas are undifferentiated. The non-apprehension of perfect wisdom follows from the non-apprehension of all dharmas. Perfect wisdom remains the same, whatever it may surpass, because all dharmas remain the same, whatever they may surpass. Perfect wisdom is powerless to act, because all dharmas are powerless to act. Perfect wisdom is unthinkable, because all dharmas are unthinkable." Close quote. Thereupon, on that occasion, there was born in the Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita, the king of concentrations, called the sameness of all dharmas, and consequent on that, the concentrations called isolation of all dharmas, immobility of all dharmas, absence of all mental acts in all dharmas, lack of numbness in all dharmas, the one taste of all dharmas, the boundlessness of all dharmas, the non-production of all dharmas, the non-stopping of all dharmas, boundless like the firmament, boundless like the ocean, brilliant and multicolored like Meru, not fashioned like the firmament, boundless like form, etc., boundless like the element of earth, etc., adamantine, non-differentiatedness of all dharmas, non-apprehension of all dharmas, sameness of all dharmas, whatever they may surpass. All dharmas are powerless to act. All dharmas are unthinkable. Beginning with these, the Bodhisattva Sada Prarudita acquired 6 million concentration doors.